Now, the last portion for the first module is with respect to the house drainage systems. Okay, so in house drainage system, first let us understand what are the terminologies what we use. So before I start this topic, so make sure to understand the severity of this. Okay, so all of you in a year are going to become civil engineers. So the first, most of you might get your first project as a house construction. So constructing a house with all the other structural and materials that are there, that is one part of it. But drainage planning is a whole new scenario, because most of you will not be able to visualize where the drainage systems are. So that's why before the your superstructure is built up, you need to make sure that how much quantity of sewage or wastewater will be generated and how you can dispose that off from the building without affecting the aesthetics of the building, as well as without harming that particular building. Because if you can check out, imagine if your sewerage system or collection system or a house drainage system fails, then your entire house might be clogged up with foul odor. So that is a really what I can say, very bad scenario that might take place. So that's why this particular topic is going to help you very much whenever it comes to your practical world. Okay, so first let us check out what are the terminology related to the drainages. First one is wastewater. So water, when used for different purposes like domestic, commercial, industrial, etc., receives impurities and become wastewater. Thus, wastewater is used as water and has physical, chemical and biological impurities in this. So the basic simple definition of wastewater. Then we have sewage. So the wastewater coming from WC, that is nothing but the water closet or toilet, and containing human excreta is known as sewage. So the another term for this will be what? Your black water. Okay, black water and gray water, what we have discussed earlier. So basically from the water closet, what we are going to get, so that is nothing but your sewage. Next we have something called as sullage. Okay, the wastewater coming from bathrooms, kitchens, which does not contain fecal matter, is known as sullage. Okay, so here please don't directly compare this with the gray water. Okay, gray water, here there we concentrate more on the inorganic components. So whether it is a washroom or bathroom or kitchen utensils washing, so there the detergents and soaps that we use, so that is part is going to come under in the gray water. But here in general what they are saying, sullage is the wastewater coming from bathrooms, kitchens, which do not contain fecal matter. So if excreta is not mixed with that wastewater, then you can call that as sullage. Okay, so here they are not mentioning anything with respect to the inorganic components or inorganic impurities which are available. Next we have plumbing or a drainage system. It is an entire system of pipeline for providing water supply to the building, or it is a system of pipes for disposal of wastewater from the buildings. So basically this drainage system will collect the waste from various sources and it will try to dispose of outside the house at a specific point. Now sewer. So sewer is nothing but a pipe carrying sewage or wastewater. Soil pipe, it is a pipe carrying the sewage from the WC. So soil pipe indicates what? Yeah, it basically collects the black water from the water closet or the toilets. Okay. Next we have vent pipe. So a vertical pipe that provides circulation of air to and from the drainage system. So why do we actually need these vertical vent pipe? Is because for any system to run properly, okay, so you need that ventilation to be there. So why that ventilation is required? For two things. First thing is, if by any case there is a clogging, okay, so there might be a chances of having that anaerobic conditions prevailing in that pipeline. So as and when the anaerobic conditions are prevailing, your hazardous gases, whether it is a methane or hydrogen sulfide gases, will be formed, and these will have a high calorific value. And when the temperature increases, so there definitely might be a chance of explosion if there is no proper care. Second one is, if by providing this vent pipe, will actually make sure that the entire system will run in an aerobic condition. So if aerobic condition, or if air is exposed to that particular collection system, one advantage is whatever the foul odors, if they get created, can be taken out through this vent pipe. By doing this, we are preventing any chances of mishap that might take place. Now the next is stack, a general term used for any vertical line of soil, waste or a vent piping. So stack is nothing but a vertical pipe that will basically a vent pipe, whichever the vertical pipe which is there, right? So at a higher elevation, if it is there, we usually tend to call it as a stack. That is a general term that we use it over here. Next, clean out. So an excess opening to allow the clean out of the pipe. So clean out is nothing but the bottom plug, usually in general terms, if I need to say. If any deposition of any of the debris or solids from these particular waste is there, so then we can definitely clean them out with the help of clean out. Okay. Next we have waste pipe. It is a pipe carrying sewage from the bathrooms, kitchens, sinks and wash basins, etc. So soil pipe is nothing but where it takes the your black water, okay, or else the water closet water, whereas waste pipe is nothing but the other waste or else liquid waste that is being generated from bathrooms, kitchens and sinks. So that is being carried with the waste pipe. Next we have sewerage system, a system of sewers of different types and sizes in a town, collecting wastewater from the town and carrying it to the wastewater treatment plant. So sewerage system, already previously we have discussed n number of times. So sewerage system, when I say, it is for a whole locality, from collecting from the individual houses and disposing of whether it is the treatment plant or for the point of disposal. Next we have sanitary sewer, a sewer pipe that carries only sewage. Okay, it is a sewer pipe that carries only sewage. So sewage will be including what? Your grey water and black water. Next we have storm sewer. So storm sewer are nothing but the pipe which carries the storm water or other drainage. So other drainage is nothing but what? Your purely runoff water from the storm or rainfall which is going to be there. Next we have building sewer, part of the drainage system from the building to the public, private or individual sewer disposal system. So building sewer indicates what? From the collection of sewage from the various sources of your house till the disposal point of the public, that is your municipality main line which is going to be there, whether it is a lateral, sub main, irrespective of that. So whatever installation as a contractor or as a builder you do for conveying that sewage generated from the houses to that particular point will be assessed over here. Next we have sewer main. So a sewer pipe which is installed and maintained by public entity or on a public property. So basically the municipality is what they are trying to say about. So from one source of generation, that is from the house till the out of your plot area, what you take it, that is nothing but the building sewer, and from the outside of your plot area till the disposal point, what they take it, that is nothing but the sewer main. So in that way you can understand that. Now next we have components of drainage system. So the components, what all things we are going to include over here is, we have pipes, we have traps, we have sanitary fittings and we have various chambers. So these are the four major components of any house drainage systems that we are going to have. First one is with respect to the pipes. So in-house drainage system pipes may be designated depending on the function as shown below in the figures. Okay, so these particular pipes may be what? Your soil pipe, your waste pipe, your vertical waste pipe or horizontal waste pipe, then you have rainwater pipe, or it may be a air vent or vent pipe. Okay, so for next is basically soil pipe. Okay, first one. So this pipe will carry the human sewage or excreta from the water closets. So that is nothing but what? Your soil pipe. So this black colored one right now what you are seeing is nothing but a soil pipe, and here you can check out, these are not PVC pipes which are there in the figure. Basically these are what? Polished clay, what we have already studied in the material of sewer. So this is nothing but that kind of sewer lines. Okay, next is waste pipe. It is a pipe carrying sewage. So sewage is what? Your waste, liquid waste from washrooms, bathrooms, or any other sources which are there. So those are nothing but the waste pipe which is going to be there. So this figure is indicating the waste pipe. So you can check out. So on top we have some basins, right? So from there the wastewater is being collected. So this is nothing but the waste pipe. Next we have vent pipe. So it is a pipe installed to provide flow of air to and from the drainage system, or to provide circulation of air in the drainage system to protect the water seal of traps against the siphonage and backflow. And even yeah, one more important bit, what it has been mentioned for vent pipe is the third working of this vent pipe will be, there will not be any siphonage action that will be made available inside that particular drainage system. So what do we mean by siphonage? So you can see these particular sections, right? So this bends which are there. Okay, so if there is any airtight section which is caused over here, because of which the water can the waste can actually backflow into your particular systems, whether it is your toilets, bathrooms or sinks, whatever it is. If the water tightness is there, okay, or else sorry, if there is no proper aeration inside that particular pipelines, because of the siphon action, the water may end up from a lower elevation to the higher elevation without any difficulty. So that's why even the vent pipes will avoid such kind of mishaps from occurring. Next we have anti-siphonage pipe. This is a pipe which is installed to preserve the water seal in the trap through proper ventilation. So here you can check out, this is nothing but the anti-siphonage pipe. So what does this do is, from this higher elevation to this lower elevation, whenever it is coming up, you have this U shape in between. Okay, and because of this U shape, what will happen, there will be some water which will be always standing over here, and because of this what will happen, the foul odor which might be generated in the lower elevation will never come up to the higher elevation, because there will be this water seal which is naturally available because of this anti-siphonage pipe. And most of the traps will utilize such kind of anti-siphonage sections, so that to make sure the downstream foul odors will never enter into your house. Okay, this is quite an important point. And the last one is rainwater pipe. So the pipe which is carries rainwater. So you can check out in this figure. So the roof water can be collected through a rain gutter on the top, and that can be taken down and it can be disposed of safely, or we can try to utilize that particular water. Now based on this particular pipe size, if I need to tell, so soil pipe will be around 100 mm, waste pipe horizontal it will be around 30 to 50 mm, for vertical pipes it may be up to 75 mm, rainwater pipe it may be around 75 mm, and for a vent pipe it will be around 50 mm in diameters. So all these pipelines are going to help us to make sure that proper conveyance of sewage is there from the source of its generation to the disposal point. Now the next one is with respect to the traps. Okay, so in these traps are U-shaped fixtures that have water seal in it. Okay, water seal in the sense what? You can see these dotted sections in all where. So these are nothing but the water will be staying in that part of the trap, so that the odor or any nuisance from one end to the another end will not be transmitted. This water in the trap creates a seal that prevents sewer gas from passing from the drain pipes back into the occupied space of the building. Essentially, all plumbing fixtures, including sinks, bathtubs, and toilets, must be equipped with either an external or an internal trap. So what does this indicate? So trap is going to play an important role whenever it comes to the drainage system. So then only with this water seal you can have a sanitized and hygienic condition inside your house. If these water seals are not there, then obviously there will be a lot of difficulties with respect to the foul odor that is going to be generated. Now, depending upon the shapes of these traps, these are classified as P traps, Q traps and S trap. So to explain this, basically if you have seen any of the modern toilets which are there, so basically here what may happen is, few of the your water closets or toilets or western commodes which are there, okay, those will be placed at the bottom, that is on the ground, few will be placed and few will be fixed up to the wall. So that fixture will be again dependent on what kind of traps you are going to use. Okay, where will be your exit point, so based on that it is going to be there. For P trap you can see P traps exit into the wall behind the sink. So this is the P type of what I can say trap. So imagine this as the wall over here. Okay, so this is your trap. So here your commode will be there. Okay, so that's why, so wall mounting commode, what we usually call. Okay, so wall mounting commodes, what we usually call, they utilize the P trap. So I'll repeat my words again. The wall mounting commodes, what we usually generally say, they use a P trap for their particular working. Okay, next, now the second one is with respect to the Q trap. So for this Q trap, if you check out, so here the exit which is horizontal in the P trap, right now it has been angled to a certain level. So again, this is what I can say a partial one which will be there. Okay, so only in for a specific type of conditions, site conditions, you can go ahead with the Q trap. Okay, so here also we have this water seal. So once the water seal is there, so it will help us to avoid any foul odors from again getting into the house. Now the next one is S trap. So this trap is usually used with a siphonage pipe. So now you can check out, so this is the S section, what they are trying to tell you. Now usually we call this as a floor mounted commodes. For all the floor mounted commodes, what we call it, so we usually use the S trap. So here this will be its outlet. So usually this will be your wall. So wall is not connected to this, and this is your outlet. So from here again through this wall you can take it out. Okay, and this is where your commode is going to sit. At that point of time, what will happen? This particular water seal will make sure that there is no movement of foul odor again from the bottom to this particular your house, because here in general way, if I need to say, this is your bathroom. Okay, so this is your bathroom. Okay, so this foul odors, if any, will be created in the downstream side, can be prevented from entering into your house through this water seal. So that's why this traps are going to play an important role whenever it comes to the movement of foul odors or gases inside your houses, and it is quite important one, because if there is no water here, then automatically all the gases that may be produced can easily enter into your house, and your entire sanitation or healthy environment which is there inside that particular house can be disturbed with this. Next, based on the use of these traps, again these are classified as floor traps. So these floor traps, one more name for that is Nani trap. So usually this example I can give you is for bathroom. So you can check out this Nani trap, the image over here. So for usual bathrooms, we use these Nani traps. Okay. So this trap is generally used to admit sullage from the floors of the rooms, bathrooms, kitchens, etc. in the sullage pipe. So here there will not be any excreta that will be added to this. So usually for bathroom, so whatever for washing, what we use with the shampoo, soaps and everything, so that will be collected and it will be taken to that sullage pipe. Okay, this is provided with a cast iron or a stainless steel or galvanized gratings or a jali, what we call it, at its top, and so that the entry of larger matter is prevented, thereby the chances of blockages are reduced. So even though right now we have shown it in plastic, but in olden days usually these will be made up of these cast iron, stainless steel or galvanized grating. So this top material which is there right now, it is in plastic, but other materials are also available. The reason for using this is what? You don't want this sullage pipeline to get blocked. So that's why whatever the wastewater is entering over here, you want to make sure that you have a proper control over the size of the particles that are entering into this system. Next we have gully traps. So a gully trap or a gully is provided at a junction of a roof drain, and other drain comes from the kitchen or bathrooms. So basically here what is provided at a junction. So it provides you a junction where from two or more sources of that particular wastewater generation, you can collect that and convey it to the third point. Okay. Next, intercepting traps. So these intercepting traps is provided at the junction of a house sewer and municipal sewer to prevent from entry of foul gas from the municipal sewer into the house drainage system. You can just imagine this. Right now I am talking about the in-house only with the traps. Basically I can make sure that the foul odor from the downstream side will never come up to the upstream side. But whenever it comes to the intercepting trap, these are nothing but what? You can see these polished clays, right? So in between we have this kind of section. Okay, so this section, what it provided, again it provides me a water seal. So imagine this is what your municipality sewer which is there, and this is your house sewer. Whenever I want to connect to this, I'll make sure that I have this particular deviation over here, so that the water will always stay over here. So whenever I have the sewage generated, that sewage will be coming here, and then it will be passing to the public sewer or municipality sewer which is there. But whenever the sewage flow stops from my house, so at least few amount of water will be remaining in this section as I am showing it here, and based on that your water will what I can say sewage will remain in this sewer pipe only. And in turn, if any foul odors are being generated from the municipal sewers, that will not enter into your house sewerage system. So again, this will help us in maintaining a hygienic system in the house. So this is regarding the intercepting traps. Now next one is sanitary fittings. So for these sanitary fittings, what all are there? Let us check out. First one is wash basin. So these are plumbing fixtures mainly used for hand washing. So whether it is a kitchen basin or a bathroom basin, basically we use it for hand washing only. So sinks are the plumbing fixtures provided in the kitchens for cleaning utensils. So even you can clean few of the utensils over there. Next we have bathtubs. A circular waste hole at the bottom of the bathtub is provided for a drainage purpose. Bathtub is plumbing fixture provided in the bathroom for taking bath. So basically a bathtub, what it is, it has been explained here. Then we have water closet. So water closet is a pan-like water flushing plumbing fixture designed to remove human excreta directly and dispose the same into the soil pipe through trap. So in the simplest of term, it is nothing but the toilet what we use. Okay, so the here with these kind and beautiful words, they are trying to tell you exactly what that water closet or commode or toilet is basically. Okay, then we have urinals. So urinals is nothing but a bowl or a other type of typically attached to the wall in a toilet or into the basically for urination purpose. So you can see a typical section of all these particular photographs, that is wash basin, your water closet, sink, bathtub and urinal. So these are the major sources of sewage or sullage from the house, a typical house. Now, basic principles of drainage system. Now, understand this. Having the knowledge of what traps do, what pipes do, as well as what are the fixtures that we have, that is one part of it. But how you are going to connect all these things together so that to make a perfect drainage system, so that will not affect the authenticity or else the aesthetic look of a house. Along with that, even it should be safe and durable for conveying the waste from a source to a disposal point. So here house drainage should be preferably laid by side of the building to facilitate easy repair and better maintenance. Second point, the sewage or sewage should flow under the force of gravity. The house sewer should always be straight. The entire system should be well ventilated from start to the end. The house sewer should be connected to a manhole such that the invert level is sufficiently higher to avoid backflow of sewer in the house. Wherever there is a chance in direction of sewer line in the premises, provide inspection chamber at that junction. House sewers joints should be leak proof because leakage, if any, shall create an odor problem, and leaked wastewater shall infiltrate into the ground and shall reduce the bearing capacity of soil below the foundation, which is not desirable. So even with this, the groundwater pollution may occur. The rainwater from the roofs or open courtyard should not be allowed to flow through the house sewers. Siphonage action can never be permitted, and therefore adequate ventilation system should be installed. So with all this, you can just imagine for the basic principles. So these are the basic rules that we need to follow for laying of this house drainage system. So first is it should be laid by the side of the building so that we are not disturbing any of the structure in case of any maintenance works which will be there. The flow should be always under gravity. The house drainage should always be straight so that there is a less possibility of accumulation of any sediments over there. It should be well ventilated so that there should not be any anaerobic conditions that are going to exist over there. And for a house drainage, if you are connecting it to a manhole, then make sure that you are at a sufficient higher elevation than the public sewer so that the chance of backflow will be quite reduced for that. And wherever there is possibility, put an inspection chamber wherever there is change in the direction. So if a sewer is moving, let us say this is your house, and if your sewer line is also moving from here to here, wherever that there is change in direction, you can provide a inspection chamber. So what this inspection chamber will do is, wherever there is a turning, so usually there only the sediments are usually going to deposit. So inspection chamber will help you to clean out that, and also proper maintenance of that become quite easy for you. Next, the house sewer joint should be leak proof. If it is not, then again the groundwater pollution may be there. Then the rainwater from the roofs or open courtyard should not be allowed to flow through the house sewers. The reason being, in rainy season only we are going to get this rainwater, okay, or else the runoff water. If you try to include that with the sewer, first of all your sections will be quite large, so that is not feasible. Second thing is, if you provide this rainwater, so then simply the load on the sewerage line itself will go on increasing. So since rainwater is not polluted, so it is better to segregate and dispose it off in a separate way. And siphonage action can never be permitted. That is, we cannot have the siphonage action inside that house. If siphonage is there, so then definitely there will be a lot of disturbances that are going to occur for a regular household. So these are nothing but the basic principles of house drainage system, what we need to allow. So you can check out this particular figure. So I'll just try to explain this. Okay, so here we have in the lower section the laundry, right? So here we have wash basin, your water closet, and your this particular what bathtub. Yeah. So at this point of time, you can check out. So these are nothing but the manholes which are there. Okay, so whatever the water will be there, okay, so even the roof flow of water which is there, right, so that can be collected in a separate way and it can be disposed of separately. But whenever it comes to this groundwater, or whether it is sullage or sewage which is there, right, so again you can have a trap, and from there you can set it to the municipality sewer. So you can check out till this part, it is your house what I can say area, and now this will become the public area. So that's why whenever you want to connect your house with the public, make sure you provide a trap. So here this trap is provided. Because of that, what will happen, you will make sure that there is none of this municipality sewer or odor which will be generated will be coming back to you. So right now, whatever the basic principles we have just seen, so the same thing is explained with this, with respect to these figures. Now, for this house drainage systems, there are two things you should remember. We have two pipe system and we have one pipe system. Okay, let us see what these mean to you. In two pipe system, this is the best and most improved system for plumbing. Two sets of vertical pipes, one pipe for excreta, that is night soil, or for a black water as soil pipe, and another full of sullage as a waste pipe will be used. The soil pipes as well as the waste pipes are separately ventilated by providing separate vent pipes or anti-siphonage pipe. This system has four vertical pipes. So basically what will happen, so we'll have vent pipes as well as two separate pipes for collection of black water and grey water. So here it will not be mixed. So in one pipe system, instead of using two separate pipes for the excreta and sullage, only one vertical main pipe is provided, which collect both the black water as well as sullage water. The main pipe is ventilated at the top. In addition, a separate vent pipe is also provided. This system has two vertical pipes. So even you can check out these particular figures indicating the two pipe system and a single pipe system. So basically what is happening in two pipe system, one pipe, vertical pipe, is especially collecting the black water, that is your sewage water, and one vertical pipe is collecting only the sullage water, that is grey water, in part a grey water, and one vertical pipe is there for grey water and one vertical pipe is there for the black water. So that's why here totally we have four pipes. So in four pipes what we are doing, one pipe for sewage and one pipe for ventilation of sewage pipe, one pipe for grey water and one more pipe for the ventilation of grey water pipe. Now similarly in one pipe system we have only one pipe where the black water and grey water, all everything is collected through only one pipe, and ventilation of all these pipes will be done again in only single pipe. So that's why here we have only two pipes, one ventilation pipe and one collection pipe in one pipe system, whereas in two pipe system we have two collection pipes and two vent pipes. So that's why ultimately it has four vertical pipes in its system. Now, even with respect to the types of drainage systems, okay, single stack system. So this system is having a single pipe for soil, waste and vent without any separate ventilation pipe. It uses only one pipe which carries night soil as well as sullage in the same pipe and is extended up to 2 meters above the roof with a crowl to act as a vent pipe. So in this particular system what is happening is only one pipe is there. So this single pipe is acting in a both way. So air vent pipe as well as collection pipe is combined into a single pipe. So here from the bath, your water closet as well as your washrooms, your basins, your bathtubs, everything is being collected in a single pipe, and the same pipe is actually raised 2 to 3 meters above that particular collection point, and through the roof we usually have some grating on top. Okay, so this itself will act as a what, your even vent pipe. So this is a single pipe system what we are going to have. Then we have partially ventilated single track system. So this is an improved form of single track system where the traps of the water closets are ventilated by a separate vent pipe called relief vent pipe. This system uses two pipes as in single pipe system. The single soil and waste pipe is connected to a vent pipe and thus cost is reduced. So here in this what, it is an advanced version of this single track system where these particular traps which are there from each of the outlets will be ventilated separately, and the collection of that sewage will be done in sewage and sullage will be done in a single pipe. So here we are going to end up with two pipes, one is for ventilation and one is for carrying these particular sewage. So this is with respect to the types of drainage systems. Now finally the last one what we have is with respect to grey water recycling. So in this grey water recycling, basically what is happening is we don't have any excreta. So that's why grey water flows from surge tank where it is filtered through the coarse filter, then it is pumped to the sand filter, then it is disinfected and then pumped to the grey water tank. Now this can again be used for flushing purposes. So in brief, if I just need to explain about that, so grey water, what we have, okay, so your what I can say, your flushing tank which is there, okay, so yeah, this is called as cistern. Yeah, this the technical name for this is cistern. So from this cistern, whenever the water enters into your particular waste pipe, okay, so you can provide some disinfection or adsorption with filtration, and the same can be again reused for the sake of flushing or gardening or any other purpose. Since why we can recycle grey water in house itself is because it doesn't have excreta, and most of the mental status of the people can be used for the reuse of this grey water. Okay. Now, this final figure, it is indicating regarding the house drainage systems. So you can check out, these are nothing but the two houses. Okay, so here we have wash basin, we have your bathrooms, you have your toilets, here you have your kitchen utensils as well as washrooms. So from here the waste is collected. So if the depth of cutting is more, so here sometimes the lift station, if it is required, so this is quite rare, but if it is required, that can be taken up. So what this will do is it will increase the head of water, so that's why it has been shown in a vertical arrow mark, and from there it can be taken to the screens or a primary treatment unit where all the debris or suspended particles can be separated out, and from there you can check out, you can come to this grid chamber where again the settling of inorganic particles will be there, and the outlet of this is again taken to the primary clarifier. So clarifier is nothing but an coagulation come settling tank. So there again few more amount of pollutants can be removed, and from there again it will go to the aeration basin or oxidation pond or stabilization pond or something, activated sludge process, trickling filter. So any of the biological treatment can be used here as a sixth step, and then the outlet of that will be a secondary clarifier where most of the sludge will settle down and your clear water will be taken to the disinfection process. So here they are using chlorination, but we can use UV radiation, ozonation, and many other processes which are there, and from there it can be taken off to the disposal point. Now all the sludge which have been created over here, whether it is primary clarifier, whether it is secondary clarifier, or with respect to the grit that has been collected over here, so all these can be disposed of. Okay, we need to have a proper disposal method for this particular sludge. So here in this figure, as they have shown, the primary and secondary sludge that has been collected, that will be first dewatered, and again that dewatered this particular sludge can be digested. So whenever you say digested, it is an anaerobic process. So with that anaerobic process, the methane gas can be produced. So through that methane, they are actually trying to run a generator over here to generate electricity. Okay, and this the remaining sludge or dewatered portion of that will be taken out for the disposal. So these can be, if properly managed, can be used as a organic manure also. So this is all about the house drainage system. So how the wastewater is generated from this house till how it is disposed, whether it is the water source or to any of the land sources, this can be visualized.